Welcome everyone back to the most frivolous, the most yummalicious series on YouTube. Welcome to Great or Bait. Now, this is a very, very special episode because, as you can probably tell by the title and by the motherfucking length of the video, I have two very important guests on the channel today. You probably are quite familiar with both of them. They are my good buddy MARZZOMBIE, aka Mars.
Hey, it was good.
And my good buddy Wes, aka Noodles, aka the Drift King himself. Okay, the mic is not cooperating right now, man.
Brilliant.
Nah, this actually is brilliant. Trust me. Okay, so why are we doing a three-way episode? It's pretty simple. These two absolute Giga Chads are very familiar with the two cars that I'm doing in this episode, that being the Isetta and the Evija. Wes is one of the most talented drifters I know, and Mars is one of the most talented tuners I know. And what we did was actually test the cars together. We all did a run for each section, and in this video you're about to see that, I guess, from worst to best. And I'm going to use obviously the best result on each and put them on the sheet, regardless of whose result it is. And I'm also going to have them guess the grades at the very end of each section to make it more interesting, because they haven't actually seen the footage, they just send in their clips. How do you guys feel about not this, but like the cars themselves?
Oh man, for anything but drifting, they suck.
Yeah, I mean, you're about to see that towards the end with the result as well, but yeah, they are absolute ass. But I still had fun though, like even with the cancerous runs on grip and all that. Oh yeah, and also Wes here had his hand for one of the first times on dirt and on Chihuahua. And I gotta say, man, props for doing those clean laps. They were actually genuinely impressive. you actually beat me. You actually
I wanted to die.
no shit, man. You actually beat me on the Isetta with on grip. I kind of threw in the towel on that one. You'll see later on, but you actually scored up significantly higher than me. Not even joking. But yeah.
It was pain.
Oh man, you haven't even tested the Morgan yet. That you should try that. I think comparatively speaking, the Morgan was slightly worse to test than the Isetta. But I wouldn't recommend you do that. But considering you're like starting off, I'd say you already seen what the worst is, like how bad it can get in terms of testing. I can finally relate to someone when I test these vehicles. Because so far it was just
it's not fun.
I mean, it is on certain aspects, right? Like, I guess top speed tuning wasn't that bad for either of you, right?
Oh yeah, no, it was very easy.
Yeah, that's always why I leave at the end, because it's the shortest and easiest part. And drag racing again maybe wasn't that bad, right?
Oh yeah, no, it says a little wonky for drag racing, but the wheelies is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna start.
It only took me about 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've spent maybe like 10 at most on the Isetta, but probably less than that on the wheelies. So I think the intro has gone on for long enough. I'm actually going to start with the video itself, and let's play the wheelies drift runs, because we start with the drift runs usually. And I believe this run is yours, Mars, here.
Yeah, so I'll be completely candid. I did not grind my drift runs because Dom and Wes are better drifters than me, so I spent much more time on all the other runs. What I can say, this car's cracked. It's super nimble. The transitions are like instant for what this game can provide. This car's a lot of fun. It's actually really easy to use for something as nimble as it is. So I highly recommend you guys give it a shot. It'll work for pretty much any zone in the game as far as I'm aware. As you saw, 143 there was my best score, which in terms of my PB is actually pretty good. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it's actually very, very decent for like even for trying to set your PB. It's definitely not a hard car. You can probably get you there pretty quickly. I also had you grind the SLR a little bit last week, so you probably would have set a PB otherwise.
yeah, exactly.
And this is Wes run here. Sick livery, by the way. I probably should use one myself. Really like it.
Yeah.
Very, very clean overall lines. Yeah, I think you missed quite a bit on the tails down there. Yeah, I could have put a little bit further back. So this is what I got. I will admit I did spend quite a bit, maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get this, just because I really wanted to push this car to be one of the top 3 or so best, because I know it deserves to be there. And it's by no means good. Like, this transition here was kind of whatever, I suppose. And I could have definitely stepped more on the grass on that one, but I think I did somewhat fine.
Overall, it's a clean run.
Yeah,
Very well
that's
put
what I
together.
was hoping for. So obviously this was going to be a 10 out of 10. It was. I wouldn't have had you guys guess that it was a no-brainer. And I'm happy to say we all got relatively close. Like, we got very close in terms of the top speed. So this is also yours, Mars, and you got a 405, right?
Yeah.
And Wes got a 202 miles an hour, something like that, which I checked, and it's 405.5. You used the
As you can see, I cannot see a thing.
Wait, you can't see the actual screen? What are you talking about?
I got a row in front of me. On this one, I couldn't see, so I was doing it block.
Oh, yeah,
I had
the
to-
POV.
I had to put like the windshield down so I could actually see.
yeah. I was gonna say, this car actually benefits from being heavier. So what do you guys think I gave it in terms of top speed?
I can't see any more than like a 4, honestly.
What do you think, Wes?
3.
Yeah, I'm thinking 3 too.
Yeah, you're kind of correct. I gave it a 2.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, it's pretty slow. I mean, it's slower than like 80% of cars, probably more, probably like 90% of cars in the game, if I had to guess.
I'm surprised on how fast, considering the car it is.
Yeah, it's shaped like a brick at the end of the day, so it's not that bad, but you know, still slow. I believe this is your drag run here, and you got a 13.6. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's not right.
This is mine, and I was absolutely, man. My character looks so weird. I just realized. Look how goofy he looks. Just standing there. I think I got demolished by this ghost, but this was still my fastest run. Sadly, we still had Travis do his run after this one, but you guys can already kind of take a guess, because Travis got a 13.08, I believe.
I mean, he got a 0.0. Here he was telling me he got a 0.1. That was his PB.
Nah, he got a 0.80 as far as I can remember.
Yeah, this car launches really well for what it is, but it just doesn't carry that.
Yep. I think this is his clip. Yep.
Also, once again, I can't see more than like, I don't know, maybe like a 3 or a 4 for this. It's just not fast.
It isn't, yeah.
I'd say 2.5 again.
It was actually a bit better than that. I give it a 5.
it's
about average. If we were to use what you guys used, right, the times you guys got, it would have been around a 3 or 4. But I use the times from Travis, because he can push like half a second or so more than me or you guys, and that makes it more fair. But the launch is decent. Other than that, it just has no top end, so it's about average, I would say. This is not average though. This is definitely not average for a car.
Oh yeah.
This is anything but. I had a wake up call when I did my Chihuahua run with the Willys, because I thought it was gonna be a breeze. It was gonna be a whatever. I tested this car 2 months ago and it wasn't that bad. Obviously it sucked, but it wasn't like a painful experience. This wasn't even close. This was fucking diabolical. It felt like actually being pinned down, put through torture. This I'm not sure who's run this. Oh, it's probably yours, Maz. Yeah.
I was gonna say this looks like mine. Yeah, I had to tune both of these cars to be kind of really understeery, because they have so much power and such skinny tires that like any amount of throttle will send them sideways. You can kind of see it too, like I'm like scraping the fronts here around most of these turns, and then anytime I give it any throttle, especially this part right here, you will just spin. So you have to add so much stability to get these things to drive at all consistently. Like grade A death traps for sure.
You actually got a very clean hairpin there. Like you
Thank you.
Control it very well. I definitely would have spun out. And yeah, this one of those cars where you would, first of all, you wouldn't say it's on slicks. You genuinely wouldn't think it is. And second of all, you need ridiculous throttle control for it. And
oh yeah,
it's definitely what I suck the most at in this game. And this is my run, which is like barely any better. I just used a trick that I learned from Power Build, which is just use a higher gear, like a longer gear, so you don't spin out everywhere. And that's why you can see my revs being in the middle throughout the entire run. That's just what I did. But I guess it paid off. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to you guys guess now.
A fun spot.
Oh man, oh god, this came like 2 or 3. This sucked.
2.
Okay, so you're saying a 2, you say 2 or 3. I mean, you're correct. At the end of the day, it has decent acceleration, so you kind of have to keep that in mind. Like, it shoots out of the corners pretty decently afterwards.
Yeah.
Nah, I only gave it a 3, as far as I remember. It, again, 80% of the grade input is looking at the other results, and 20% is from, personal bias, or I guess not preference, just judgment, personal judgment. So I guess this is where the Willy is I guess somewhat decent compared to other areas. Obviously drifting is where it's the best at, but it's not actually that bad off-road from what I would say. It's a little bit wobbly. It feels like it's on jello. I know I use that quite often, but it's just, look at how it shakes. It's actually so funny, man. I can't get enough of watching this car just topple over itself. It's so funny. Like,
yeah, as opposed to the road runs, where you like can't really carry much speed through turns because the car just feels like it's on ice. It actually feels like it has pretty decent grip, even in S2, like with all the power, like all the upgrades, like the whole 9. So I was pleasantly surprised, like how well it could drive here. It still probably wasn't all that fast.
It wasn't gonna be that fast because it doesn't have enough grip, just because the tires are too thin. But I mean, overall, it beat out some cars that are, I believe, on the higher end of S2 when upgraded. So there's 2 things that I think give this car a decent advantage. Number one, it's very light, and some has decent power. And number 2, it's very prone to oversteer, which you want for off-road.
Yeah, definitely.
So it has some things going for it, as opposed to like grip, like road grip. It has some things going for it. There's literally nothing going for it on on road, other than its acceleration. So yeah, this is your run, Mars.
Yeah.
Very, very clean through that one there, and I believe you got a 104, right?
I think so. Yeah. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to actually drive this. It was a death trap, but not like so bad that you can't actually kind of have fun with it.
Yeah, not necessarily a death trap as much as it was like a bit more challenging. So this is my run. You technically have the highest clean run here. Mine is flag, but like I mentioned earlier, I would say it's a pretty unfair flag, and I'll show you exactly where that happens.
Same thing happens to me about.
So it's gonna be on this jump right here. Bam. Yeah.
Yep.
That sucked. I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing more. I'm not beating that clean again. I sometimes do that. My channel, my videos, my rules. I don't care.
My life, my rules, my style, my attitude.
Yeah, literally. But yeah.
I guess I could see this car being like a 5-ish, something like that.
All right. What about you, Wes?
Yeah, 5.5.
Okay, so I know the grade is Wes was actually very spot on. I gave it an exactly 5.5 out of 10. Looking at the results, so very nice guess there. And here it is compared to, I guess, similar rated cars in the totals. It beats out, like I said, some pretty decent cars like the Holland Toronto and the Sabre. And it's only like very few points behind the AMR Pro that I tested not too long ago, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because that thing is a whole hypercar, and this is just a World War II Jeep. The irony is just insane.
What's the logic?
Yeah, literally. But yeah, I had fun, especially drifting it and going off road. Like that was definitely fun. Sadly, I don't think anyone recommended it in the comments, so I can't really put a screenshot of someone suggesting it. But I felt it was only natural to run this alongside the next car, because these are definitely the two best drift cars in the game, like for overall usage. And yeah, I'm a bit surprised in terms of the result. I thought it was gonna be a bit lower, but then I realized a 10 out of 10 in drifting is gonna boost it by a lot. So yeah. But speaking of the next car, this is where we get into I guess the meat of the video. I left it for you know, for later, or whatever you call that.
Oh yeah.
I have the best till last.
Man, this is just something else. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys describe this with your words, because I don't have many for this car. I'm not gonna lie.
So this is my drift run. Like again, I didn't spend too much time on this, and since Mose and Dom will get better scores than me, but getting clean runs with this car is very satisfying. As you see, 142.8, so a little bit worse than my wheelies run. I'm just not the best Isetta driver.
Oh, I'm nowhere near the best either. This is my run here, and weirdly enough, I got this after only like 15-20 minutes or something like that. Not too long, but I jumped from a 139 to this instantly for some reason, and I cannot explain that. It's literally like one of the 9 wonders of the world at this point, at least for me.
It's what the car does. It makes you improve very fast.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, I guess it's also because I'm used to this zone a lot, and I'm grinding too much. But yeah, and this is your infamous run here, and I just gotta say, there's just no way I'm ever gonna get close to replicating something like this, man. It is insane.
In fact, this was my 3rd or 4th attempt, I think it was.
That's crazy.
It only took me maybe 5 minutes to get this run.
That's insane. And
But
I've never
it's
seen
just ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never seen a car transition at 90k there. So, I mean, obviously this was going to be the easiest 10 out of 10 game. It is the first 146 on my list, and it's going to be like that for a while. I genuinely don't think we have any good drift car remaining. Like, anything that would crack the high 145s, 146. I don't think there's any in the game. I'm going to have to think about it hard, but I don't think there is. But yeah. In terms of top speed... not sure. That one just kind of transitions like a... I don't know, it's not that fast. Also, what was that? What was that wheelie there? That was crazy. Wait a second. I'm running that back. Oh, that was crazy. Hold on. I don't care.
Yeah,
Everyone's...
this happens when you just slap Yesco top speed numbers on an Isetta. I died on that bump like about 5 times while trying to get a clean run here.
That was so crazy, dude. Oh yeah. Okay, in terms of top speed, obviously this is slow. It has the 1.6 rally engine, so it's gonna suck balls. It's 1,000 horsepower too little compared to most other cars. We were also relatively close together in terms of speeds again. This was my run here, and I got a 357. What do y'all think it was on the grades?
I can't see higher than a 2.
Okay,
1.
2, 1. Okay.
0.5.
You were closer, I guess, with the 1.5 because I gave it a straight 1. I don't imagine there's that many slower cars in the game. I guess the Peels, but that's about it. Like, I really doubt there's all that many left. In terms of drag, though, I expected this to be slower. I'll be honest. Like when I got to testing, because I was doing my runs last night. I was expecting this to be a whole second slower, but it somehow isn't, and I think it's just because it's very light.
Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 power to weight ratio, isn't it? So it just
It was gonna be decent anyway in terms of the launch, but I didn't expect it to actually pull up until like 160 or 170. Like here at like 175, it just kind of slows down. This is my.
And then as soon as you hit 200, it goes up minimal.
Oh no, wait, this is from Travis. Yo, Travis got mogged here by fucking Mars. There's no way. Yeah, I was like, oh, shit. I was looking at the name of the file and I thought it was mine, but nah, that was from Travis.
Yeah, I think I beat Travis by 4,000 or something crazy like that. So
yeah, you beat him by like the length of a headlight. Or something like that. Quite literally. So what do y'all think it was on the drag?
Oh man, 13.8. Like again, I can't see higher than like a 2.
Well, what'd you say?
2.5. 2.5.
3.5. That again is actually closer because unlike most cars, this one actually has a decent launch. So, y'all might be surprised, but I did actually give it a 3.
Yeah, that's fair. It is really light after all.
You gotta keep in mind the Lambo got 15 seconds.
Oh.
That got 2 whole seconds slower. So yeah. Okay, this is what I have to say. This is my run here, and you can see this is only the second flying. I literally couldn't be asked to do more laps than that. I slacked hard, especially when I saw that you guys were doing sub 1. I was like, hell nah, man. And you can see I didn't even like. I was struggling so much, and I was in the low revs, and this car was still not cooperating whatsoever.
Yeah, this is full blown pain territory. We have now entered the "you are solidly driving a death trap" part of the video. Once again, like full understeer on this car is the only way to make it at all drivable.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. This is the embodiment of death on this track. Like, quite literally. Look at how low my revs were for the entire lap. And I was still sliding everywhere. This car genuinely taught me more throttle control than any other power build did in those 3 laps that I ran. So,
This is when I wanted to die, honestly. It's just, this is where I just started drifting in the end. Because, you know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think if I took your approach and just drifted the entire way, I would have definitely gotten a quicker lap time by the end. But I definitely should have taken your advice here and just slammed it on through every corner. Because honestly, you had a lot more control than I did over the car. Like, genuinely speaking.
Years of drifting does that to you.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell. At the end, I think you got a 57 or 56. I can't quite remember, but it was definitely like 5 seconds quicker than me. Because, for example, there you went all the way up to 120 and then tapped the brakes. I went up to like 95 and then tap the brakes. So yeah, I slow down the footage here. It's a 57 point something. You can't really see it, but it should be visible when I post the video. That happened to me a bunch of times before. And this is the run from Mars, who actually, like an actual Giga Chat, decided to run a properly done lap on this, and actually pain.
Yeah, so you can see the lap counter is 9, but I definitely put about like 20 to 30, maybe even like I think roughly about that many laps into this. I was just going back between the tune menu and lap and trying to see if I could get it to be at all stable so that I could put some power down in the turns. And it actually working. Like, I didn't like die on the exit of the hairpin there, which I thought was a definite show that the tune actually isn't complete garbage, but the numbers definitely look completely cooked, that's for sure.
I mean, on cars that look like this, I'm no surprise. Okay, what do you guys think it got, real quick?
Oh man, 1. Solid 1.
Yeah, there's no way it was getting any more than that.
The car's my goat, 4.
What was that?
The car is my goat, 4.
I mean, yeah, but not really on this track. Let's be honest. Okay, it was definitely more manageable on off-road, I would say. And
Yeah, it was.
and when I did my run, I mean, not only do you have more room left and right to actually counter steer and tap the brakes and everything, but you also can just actually like slide through most of the corners, which is what this car is prone to do. So it was obviously going to be a little bit faster off-road. Don't think I gave it any higher grade, just it was noticeably easier to use. That's the takeaway from all that.
I'd say the opposite. I definitely struggle with this on dirt more than on road.
I mean, yeah, looking at your lap on roads, you definitely had a lot of control from the tune alone, I think, and then your ability to actually throttle control it properly. I just had a lot more, not even fun. I can't say this was fun. I guess it was bearable off-road. So this is what you got with a 14.8.
I did see some like flagged 11s too, but I mean, I just wanted a clean lap. Like none of those laps felt good. So
yeah. I knew I could get a decent lap, so I did do a couple of runs, but only because I didn't want to be unfair towards this car. Because if I wanted to, I could have just done like a 120 clean and left it at that. But I mean, wouldn't have been too fair. So yeah, I like how controlled the car looks. Like Wes makes it look easy, just how much like actual I guess tame mobility he has over the car. And that's not a word. Shit.
Yeah, fun fact, this was the first time I was ever doing TIO. Like, ever.
I mean,
It was this car and was doing TIO for the first time, which isn't really an easy track to do.
it isn't. Yeah, imagine being your first time on a dirt track, trying to max it, and it's in a fucking Isetta out of all cars. I can't imagine that. But you actually held your own very strongly here. So that was yours, and this is what I got after a bunch of laps. And I'm relatively happy with this. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm happier with this run than I was with like half my other runs in other cars that I tested, just because this car is such a pain. Oh, and that recovery was crazy. That recovery was crazy. But like, I feel like I pushed this more than I pushed like half my other cars when I tested them, even though the lap counter isn't anything crazy. But yeah, what do you guys think I gave it?
man, another one. Like this thing is just slow from what I can tell for this track.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but what do you think, Wes?
Yeah, it had to be a 1.5.
Dude, you're on fire. You got like almost all of them correct. Almost every single
It wasn't actually terrible. Like,
So, yeah. It's
it
not
wasn't terrible,
the
it wasn't
worst.
good.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was 2 seconds
Yeah.
faster than the Morgan that I tested. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, and I had to slow down the footage here a little bit, and there it is. It's a 1.5 because I gave the Morgan a 1. I can't really give this a 1.1 as well. It was noticeably quicker, and I feel like I could have definitely pushed it a couple more seconds. So I think that's fair. And this is the final result. He got a 3.3 out of 10 on average, and funny enough, the 10 out of 10 you get for drifting makes up more than all the other ones combined. If you look, I mean, do the math, and it's the other ones make up 2/3 of the drift grade, which is crazy. But I mean, I expected that, to be honest.
Yeah, these cars definitely shine in drifting, but the things that make them good at drifting, the skinny tires, the low aero, all of that, it's gonna make them worse at everything else for sure.
Yep, these are literally the definition of niche cars.
Yep, definitely.
I can't really see any cars that are more extreme than this for one thing. And oh, never mind, we have the pro stock. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, if I could, I would give the Isetta an 11 out of 10 for drifting, but that's not really how it works. But yeah, regardless, that's about as much time as we had. Thank you both for joining me on the episode. I hope it was fun.
Oh, of course, man, of course.
Sorry for, I mean, talking over both of you on multiple occasions.
Oh, it's all good.
If we do this in the
Nah, it's
future,
cool.
we're probably gonna have a little bit more experience. But once again, thank you for having me. I guess on an episode, and thank you everyone for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.